Welcome to The Explainer. I am absolutely thrilled to have you here today. We are going to unpack a fascinating, truly timeless parable about human potential, laziness, and the ultimate equalizer of our lives. It's a classic story that takes a massive, abstract concept and breaks it down into a beautifully simple lesson. We're going to explore exactly how a clever father taught his careless son the ultimate truth about the one resource none of us can ever get back. Okay, let's dive right into this. What is the price of time? It's a stark, almost unanswerable hook of a question, isn't it? If someone walked up to you on the street right now and asked you to put a physical price tag on an hour, a minute, or even a single second, what would you say? I want you to keep that question in the back of your mind as we launch into our narrative, because this is exactly the riddle at the heart of today's story. Section 1. The Careless Son and a Father's Worry. So our story begins in a small village with a father who is just deeply worried about his utterly lazy, aimless son. But the father decides he's going to teach his boy a lesson without all the yelling or punishment. It's a very structured plan. First, he gently calls his son over. Second, he gives him a super simple instruction. Go to the cupboard and bring back a watch kept inside. Easy, right? The boy completes the step with no problem, opens the cupboard, takes out the watch, and brings it right back to his dad. Section 2. Pricing the watch and the market's verdict. Now the father gives the boy his first real task. He tells him to take the physical watch down to the bustling village market and ask everyone how much they think it's worth. Let's jump into the market and see how this builds. The boy starts showing the watch around, navigating the absolute chaos, and the bids start flying. The very first valuation he gets from a man in the market, 500 rupees. He moves on to the next person and boom, he gets another bid. Someone else takes a look at the watch and values it at 800 rupees. And then another person examines it and gives the highest bid yet, 1,000 rupees. So, here is the crucial point. While people gave different prices, and some even gave the exact same price, absolutely no one completely agreed on the object's true value. The market was completely divided on what this tangible item was actually worth. So the boy heads back home, just totally confused by all these conflicting numbers in his head. He tells his father, everyone told me a different price for the watch. Some said 500, some said 800, 1,000. And how does the father react? He simply smiles, just a patient, knowing smile, and tells him, all right, put the watch back in the cupboard. He doesn't explain a single thing yet. The lesson is only half finished. Section 3. Pricing the invisible and the second test. The very next day, the father asks for the watch again, but this time he issues a strange, almost impossible new directive. And this brilliantly illustrates the father's genius as a teacher. Just look at this comparison. Task 1 was completely tangible. Ask the price of the physical watch. But task 2? It is beautifully abstract. The father tells him, this time, don't ask the price of the watch. Ask people the price of the time inside this watch. The boy was incredibly confused. He had absolutely no idea what his father really meant by this. But being obedient, he went back to the market anyway. He starts asking the people he meets, hey, how much is the time inside this watch worth? And man, the reaction was harsh. People looked at him strangely. Some literally laughed right in his face. Others abruptly told him to just go away. And some completely dismissed him, calling it a foolish question. The poor kid felt incredibly embarrassed and deeply sad as the crowd forcefully rejected his bizarre, invisible commodity. Section 4. The Watchmaker's Wisdom and the Mentor's Revelation. Feeling totally defeated, the boy finally stops at a small shop where an old watchmaker pauses his repairs. And instead of mocking him, he greets this foolish question with a kind, understanding smile. The old watchmaker speaks softly to the boy. He says, son, you cannot put a price on time. You can give millions of rupees, but you cannot buy back even 1 second of your life. That is why you must use your time wisely. The boy just stands there, listening carefully, as the absolute gravity of those words really begins to land. The old man then breaks down the dual nature of time for the boy. He explains that time has one bad thing and one good thing. The bad thing is simply that it passes. It never stops. But the good thing, and this is where your personal power really comes in, is that you get to choose exactly how to spend it. He goes on to explain that this represents the ultimate equalizer. Think about it. Absolutely everyone in this world has 24 hours in a day. Both the rich and the poor get the exact same amount. The only difference in a person's life is how they choose to use those 24 hours. Section 5. The Priceless Choice and the Parable's Pivot. At this point, the boy's eyes fill with understanding. He rushes home to a proud, smiling father. And his total transformation from a lazy wanderer to a hard worker has begun, because he finally grasps the real value of every single moment. So the crucial point of this entire story boils down to 4 powerful truths. I want you to think about these philosophical mechanics of time as the ultimate currency. 1. Time is free, but it's entirely priceless. 2. You cannot buy it, but you can eagerly use it. 3. You cannot keep it or hoard it in a bank, but you can choose to spend it. And 4th, the most sobering fact of all, once it's gone, it never comes back. Which leaves us with this final, incredibly important thought. We have seen how a lazy boy was transformed just by realizing the ticking clock inside his own life. Time is free, but it is absolutely priceless. The real question isn't what time is worth in rupees or dollars. It's about what you personally choose to trade it for. So how will you spend yours today?